about
campground etiquette.
Yeah.
And there is such a thing.
There is, and it's really important that you understand it. It will make for your stay much more pleasant as well as those around you. The first thing I would say is just make sure you know the rules. Every campground has a different set of rules. Most of them, so we're currently at a KOA, and they give you, a map, and then the set of rules are here on the back. Take a few minutes, make sure you understand them. It will usually tell you quiet time, pet rules, trash. It tells you all of those things, and so that's really important. One of the things that's also important to make sure you pay attention to this is the map, because as we've shown you, the pull-through sites are built for entrance one way and exit the other. Those are all one-way roads, and you want to make sure that you're not driving a motorhome going the wrong way, trying to pull into an angled spot that's angled a different way, or that you end up blocking somebody else from getting out. So just make sure you take a few minutes, look at the map, understand what roads are one way and which direction you're supposed to travel. And then of course, if you want to know where the amenities are, if there is a pool or a laundry room or a dog play area, that you know all of those things. Be respectful of your neighbor's sites. So, a lot of times the way campgrounds are laid out, it's much quicker to cut through a site to get to the office or the shower or whatever than it is to walk all the way around. But if somebody's in that site, even if you're just walking in the front of their RV, that's their site, they've paid for it, just like you paid for yours. Don't do that. And make sure you teach your kids not to do that. It can be dangerous, and it's just not polite.
Yeah, and we've even had some ride their bikes through our site. So they don't know what we have set up where. We could have a dog tie set up out there.
Yes.
Anything. So just make sure that you teach your children not to do that.
Right. And that's the other thing is, yes, dogs. We like to think our dogs are well behaved, but if somebody comes into the area that they understand is our area, they're gonna bark.
Yeah.
I am sure there are campgrounds out there that don't allow pets, although we certainly never stayed at one because we had pets with us. Some of them have dog parks. This one has a small dog park area. We stayed at one that had probably a 2-acre dog park with an obstacle course and everything. It was awesome.
Yes, it was awesome.
And then there may be only certain areas that you're allowed to walk your dog, and there will almost certainly always be a leash law. So just like at home, if you're walking your dog and it needs to go to the bathroom, you clean it up. The other thing is, maybe you have a lot of kids and maybe the people next to you are, just partying with their friends. Watch your language, be respectful, understand quiet hours. Almost every campground we've been to has defined quiet hours. It's all about being respectful, and it's okay to ask for a different site as well. Maybe you're on a kid-free trip and you don't want to be next to kids.
Yeah.
Nothing against kids, just maybe you don't want to be around them. That's okay. You can ask to be moved to a different site, or maybe you have your kids with you and there are partiers around you and you want to not be around them. It's all okay. Just you can ask for a different site.
And I want to add one more thing about the dogs.
Yes.
We did find out that some places asked for it, some places didn't, but you need to make sure that your dogs are updated with their shots. And you need to have the certificate or the paperwork showing that they've had their shots, because some campgrounds will ask for them when you check in, and then some don't, some do, but we just always have them just in case.
Some campgrounds do have restrictions on breeds. Whether you agree with it or not, there are certain breeds that, places just like apartments don't always let you have a certain breed. Some campgrounds don't. And so just be aware of that as well. And the other thing is, garbage. They're typically going to tell you how to handle that at check-in. Some of them you can just bag it up and put it at the end of your site, and they come by and pick it up in the morning. Others you actually have to, take it to the dumpster yourself. Also, we all love to have a campfire, sit around and roast marshmallows, whatever.
Yeah, what's camping without a campfire?
However, depending on the season and where you are, there can be restrictions on those as well. So, it's really just about understanding the rules. I mean, it is just because you're outside does not mean it's a free-for-all.
And most RV parks, campgrounds you go to, everybody is, there for the same reasons.
Yep.
And, you may not meet nicer people than RVers or campers.
Yes, when you are in a campground, it maybe you're just pulling in, maybe that you're just pulling out. People are friendly and they will stop to chit-chat. My recommendation is, if somebody is trying to talk to you while you're in the process of either setting up or breaking down, don't be rude, but just say, whatever they start talking about, just say, answer them and just say, give me a few minutes to make sure I've got everything done, and then we can, be glad to come over and chat about whatever. A lot of times it's about your rig, right? It's about your RV. They want to know about it. What do you think about it? Or they want to see inside of it. Or, there's a lot of conversation that happens around that. If somebody gets distracted while they're setting up or breaking down, that is when accidents happen. We saw this happen. It could be driving off with your vehicle plugged in. We saw it, I should say, start to happen.
Yeah.
These people were right next to us. They had a grandchild with them. They got distracted, and he put it in gear and moved about a foot until we started,
hollering and screaming,
yelling at him that he was still plugged into the pedestal.
Also, along with that, because RVers are so friendly and they're always willing to help.
Yes.
When you are backing in or pulling out, there will sometimes be other friendly RVers that want to come over and help you, especially if you're pulling in and trying to back in. They'll want to help you and guide you. And, we have a routine that we go through, and I know her hand signals, and we know how to communicate. So even if they say, oh, come on, you're okay, whatever it is, or pull out, or you're too close, go by what you know.
Yep.
Thank them for the, advice.
Yep.
And be friendly, but go with what you know.
Kind of ignore, if they're saying something opposite that I was saying, we would just kind of let them be. We obviously wouldn't be rude, but we would still just go through our process and leave it at that.
Now, if you're traveling by yourself and you do need help, then, you can find somebody that will help.
Absolutely.
Another thing as far as the campgrounds go, if you have a golf cart or even, an ATV, something that you use to get around the campgrounds or, whatever the case may be, if that's something that you really like to do, you need to make sure that the campgrounds allow even golf carts, because it can be a liability, as far as insurance purposes. There have been accidents.
Yep. Even, electric scooters that your kids may have.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's very important that you understand what those rules are, and like Trace said, if it's an important part of the camping experience for you, it may not be the first campground that you see that's going to allow that.
Mm-hmm. But there are campgrounds out there that do. You just have to do your research and find them.
For now, I think that wraps it up. Remember, we're doing an entire series on RVing, from how to set it up, how to drain your black and gray, empty your black and gray tanks.
The dreaded tanks.
Driving tips, what to bring, what to pack. We're doing a whole series, so please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments or anything you want to see in this series, please leave them in the comments below. And just remember, until next time,
live your best life.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.